Washed every 2 days in areas of poor water, and secondly, the membranes have to be cleaned with citric acid by rinsing with the machine running in reverse about once a week in poor water areas. And I'll now demonstrate the two necessary steps for service of the equipment. Firstly, the carbon filter. The carbon filter is backwashed with the system turned off. So ensure that the switch on the left-hand side of the switch panel is in the off position. In fact, both switches can be in the off position. Also, the operating control should be in the start position with the arrow pointing horizontally. For carbon filter backwash, make sure that the incoming water supply is connected and the hose is turned on so the system is pressurised. Simply remove the cover from the carbon filter and connect the drain hose to the timer. To activate the timer, just push the grey button on the side down and turn the timer to 30 minutes, making sure the drain hose, the outgoing drain hose, is running to waste so it doesn't flood the floor. All you have to do now is to leave it run and the water will flow through the incoming supply, through the carbon filter, past the timer switch and out to waste through the blue drain hose. Notice all waste hoses are blue for the convenience of the operators. After 30 minutes, the timer will stop and cut out and the drain will stop. Just disconnect the hose and replace the cover, and the carbon filter will be clean and ready for the next 2 days. It's very important to flush that carbon filter out regularly because it's then possible to get a total clean. If you leave the carbon filter for long periods of time, in all possibility it will not backwash properly and will require premature replacement. I'm going to demonstrate citric acid cleaning, which initially can be done weekly, but if there's no loss of pressure when operating the water outlet, you may extend that to fortnightly and perhaps in some cases even monthly, depending on the pressure loss of the system. I would initially try weekly and then fortnightly for citric acid cleaning. For citric acid cleaning, the control knob is in the start position and initially the system is turned off at both operating switches. The first step is to turn the tap off from the supply water to the unit and depressurise the hose at the other end by loosening the connection so you don't have a flood on this end. After depressurising the hose, simply disconnect the supply water and close off the supply input with this plug provided. Fitting this plug saves having to have electrical difficulties by plugging and unplugging electrical cords, which is not required and not desired with water in a wet condition. This is an adaptation which has recently been fitted to this mini water purification plant. Next step is to obtain approximately 70 litres of space. A large polypropylene bucket would be quite in order, and place the tube on the left-hand side of the machine in the bucket and turn the control knob so that the red lever is facing up and down. As I said earlier, all waste lines and reject water lines are in blue. There is an additional line provided which is marked with colour-coded tags, yellow and white. You will remember we disconnected the incoming water supply and applied the plug. We also have to disconnect the main clear line to the tanks and put on this drain hose, the blue drain hose, into that outlet which would normally run to the product water tanks. For citric cleaning of the membranes, we use the reject water hose, which is marked with a blue and a yellow tag. This hose is permanently connected and normally runs to waste when the machine is operating. This will be one hose, and this hose will be coiled and placed in the large 75 litre plastic container. During citric acid cleaning, there is some bleed from the system. It's only a small bleed, but the water is annoying, and for this reason we put a further drain hose on the normal product water outlet, and that also runs into the 75 litre container. So just to go through that again, the incoming hose is initially disconnected and the plug is put in place. The product water hose, the clear hose to the water tanks, is disconnected, and this drain hose marked with the yellow and the white tag is put in place. The reject water hose is coiled and put into the 75 litre washing tank, and the small hose from the top outlet is also placed in the 75 litre tank. The two blue hoses are coiled in the bottom of the bin, and the clear citric acid cleaning hose on the side of the machine is also in the bottom of the bin. You then fill the bin with water, approximately 50 litres, about half to 3/4 full, and add the citric acid as per the instructions on the small white canister. We want to make about a 2% solution of citric acid for cleaning the filter membranes. This is the citric acid used to clean the membranes. For 50 litres of water, the right amount would be 1 kilogram of citric acid. Just add it to the water, give it a mix with a wooden stick, leave it sit for just a few minutes, and then the system is ready to operate.